Hello, YouTube. I'm Vince White. I'm an employment attorney. On this channel, we answer publicly posted questions from YouTube users, getting focused answers they need from an employment attorney. Excuse me, but not today. Today, I am freshly back from the French Alps where I was skiing, and Milan where I was eating fine food. It was a lot of fun. It took 10 days. I worked pretty much every day of the trip, but I did not work on the YouTube channel. So all the videos you saw while I was gone were pre-recorded, as I'm sure you could tell. Listen, I think that's a pretty good system. I don't mind that at all. But now, as I return from my trip, I have a couple of hundred emails tied to the channel, which of course we keep in a separate inbox because we can't have it choking up my inbox. And the reality of the situation is, one, I didn't have a video go live today, so this is your video for today. Two, there's a couple hundred questions. I answer one question per day, and we get anywhere from 10 to 30 questions per day. It seems like these days. So realistically, I'm going to be answering some fraction of those questions currently in the queue, as is always the case. Now, I will say, as I glance through the questions, a lot of the questions appear to be questions that we have already answered, or at least questions similar to questions we have already answered. So for many of you, what I would urge you to do is, if you are not receiving an answer to your question, go to the channel page, scroll down a little bit. There's a little magnifying glass, which is the search the channel option, and search the channel for different versions of your question, because we have several thousand videos on the channel, I believe, and we have answered many questions so far, and we don't really have the time when I'm going through questions to say like, oh, this is already answered, this is already answered, this is already answered. Just if it's a question that's already been answered once or even a couple of times, we just don't answer it again, because we can't search the channel for you, right? We can't be your Google. There's not enough time in the day. There's not enough people working here. It's just not feasible, right? So, one, we're not going to answer all the questions. We can't. We only answer one question a day. Two, search the channel, right? Because those questions might already be answered. It's possible they're not. I'm not saying we've answered every question. Certainly not. But I am trying to get to as many questions as possible. And if stuff's already been asked, it is less likely I will answer that question, unless it's been a long time or there's like a twist on the question or whatever it is, right? And I understand there's some value in me answering certain questions multiple times on the channel, because I might say things a little bit differently in a way that clicks for somebody, or we might word things differently that show up in a search engine for them and it helps them. Like, I do get that, right? Like, I understand that. But there's a tension there between, like, we can't answer all the questions, but there is value between answering certain questions multiple times, and there's a balance, right? Somewhere in the middle there. So, there's that. Also, I'll note, we're getting a lot of emails with questions, getting a lot of Instagram messages and Facebook messages with questions. We've always been clear, we do not answer those questions. The only questions that receive answers are questions that are publicly posted on YouTube as a comment to one of our videos, because we can't be answering questions if there's any question of a confidentiality violation, right? The channel, a lot of bar associations don't love us answering questions on the channel as it is. Everything's on the up and up. Obviously, we're answering questions as they pen through the EEOC, the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, under federal law, and that is legal. But a lot of attorneys hate that we have the channel. A lot of bar associations seem to hate that we have the channel. A lot of bar associations view that channel, even though it's an ask and answer channel, they view it as attorney advertising, and that's got special rules tied to it that we have to comply with. So, we're not gonna play fast and loose with any of the rules. And, you can be like, oh, I say it's okay that you go ahead and read my answer in this email. No thanks. Go ahead and post it. I'm not gonna risk my license because you're too lazy to go post. Let's be real. Well, I don't want to post any identifying characteristic. Cool, then don't. That's quite all right. I think that's a good idea. I don't think you should post identifying characteristics with your question. But also, if you're sending me an email asking me to read the email, to answer the question, and you're like, well, I don't want this posted because it's got identifying characteristics. Hey, have we thought about that? You want me to read it into a video that gets, over the course of its lifetime, thousands of views, sometimes tens of thousands, most of the time just thousands on our channel, over the course of years, right? Like in the first week they get like 200, 500, whatever it is. So you're asking me to read things that you don't want posted. Where's the logic there? If you don't want to post it, then you, I would presume, also don't want me to read it into the channel. So like, what are we doing? What, you like, this doesn't make any sense, right? So I have to reiterate: questions on Instagram, questions on Facebook, questions via email, questions via TikTok. No, we do not answer those. Only publicly posted questions. I'm sorry. It's the only way. The only way you're going to get an answer is you post it on a YouTube video. Somebody was like, oh, you're just trying to boost your comments. I mean, I'm not sad that it boosts my comments, but it's not really that many comments. Like, I was gone for 10 days, and it's like a couple hundred comments. That's not going to make or break the channel. That's not how that works. Get with the algorithm, kid. Anyways, I digress. I'm back to doing fresh question and answer every day. Excited, pumped to be back in the office. Excited how well everything moved while I was out. Sure, I had to work while I was out, but like things went really well. Everybody here really pulled their weight. Everybody really did what they're supposed to do. Love to see that. Love the team we've got right now. I'm very excited about that. Yeah, I guess that's it. Side note, I lost some weight skiing a whole bunch. I lost me like 8 pounds. Feeling good. Feeling pretty. Anyways. So, I just want to give you all an update. This is going to be today's video for the channel. I will get to answering questions tomorrow. And, oh, yeah. Collaborations. We have another collaboration coming up with Ariella, publicist Ariella, who's also the principal of Lioness. And the story site Nonlinear Love. She's bringing us some employment-relevant news articles that we'll discuss in a collaboration. And the esteemed attorney Marjorie Mesdor will, I believe, be coming back on for a collaboration at some point this week. I love her point of view in terms of the industry. I love... we don't have as many New York attorneys on. And I do value the perspective of New York attorneys. California is a zany place for employment law, and like those attorneys are definitely on the front, the bleeding edge, you know, of what's going on. But like, I do feel like a lot of work gets done in New York in terms of this industry, and Marjorie has the experience and is on the bleeding edge of that envelope in terms of like pushing forward, helping people. So I love having her on the channel, and it's just good to talk shop with somebody who's been in the game a long time, right? Like that, frankly, it's enjoyable for me. I hope you like it. Seems like you all like it. Got a lot of views, got a lot of likes. But even if you don't like it, I enjoy it. It's like a support group for me. I like talking to Marjorie. She's cool. So it's nice that y'all like it too, but I'm going to do it either way. That's what's coming up this week. It's good to be back. Growing out the hair. It's getting long. We gotta pick a new haircut pretty soon. Getting bored with this one. If this video was helpful, and let's be honest, it wasn't. Nothing about this was helpful. This was just housekeeping. But on the off chance you liked it, like, subscribe, comment down below. Share our channel so that it might grow. Take care, everybody.